yes.
It's episode 3.
And we're live, baby. Episode 6 of Pillar Talk. I know you recognize these guys, man. We've been getting it all week. So I got Spooky over here, and I got some Mack Tr3. What's going on, fellas?
How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great. How you guys doing, man?
Appreciate you having us.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm excited. Let me get to sharing this for everybody and get right into it. So, Mack, first thing is, where are you from? Like, I'm not even sure.
I'm from Detroit. My family's from Detroit and southeastern Kentucky, you know, but I was
what I was wondering.
Yeah, I was born in Detroit, but my whole life I've been down there, like I was in my mom's stomach, you know what I mean? So it's like that's just like really my roots, you know. That's my dad's side of the family down there.
You know, I'm sure you know, but Detroit and Kentucky got some deep history, man.
Oh yeah,
deep roots with Kentucky. There's some of those states and places.
Well, the reason that my family was even in Detroit is for the motor industry. You know what I mean? They were all here working because there was no heavy work like that back then. You know what I mean? So they came here, and that's like I still have family that are here. Like they based their life here from that point on. You know, and started their own life and whatnot. But for the most part, I just I'm in love with like Kentucky. I just like it's like a recharge for you know, when I go down there, it's like recharge the batteries. It's just I just feel like that's part of me. You know what I mean?
Spooky's told me a bit about that stuff. So
yeah, he's always coming down. Like this is family right here. This is my brother, really. You know what I mean? I know this guy for like over 18 years, basically, close to.
He does you right too, man. Because I gotta say, like, never even knowing whether I still don't know necessarily whether it's officially like your manager or what, but
yeah,
he really acts as if not only just your brother, but he goes way beyond that with the business aspect, and he's always rallying for you.
Yeah, 100%. And I was actually thinking about that on the way over here. You know what I mean? It's cool for like I want to give you your flowers too, and you know you, Dev, and all you guys for looking out for him too, because like he needs people like that. You know what I mean? Clearly, like we came from nothing together as far as like getting established and blah blah blah. So it's like for him to be doing spooky and really be grinding out there, that's like it's beautiful. I love to see it prosper. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to prosper as an artist and in my own life as well, but to see him around other people that's not just me, you know, like rooting for him, you know what I mean? That's good because, like, you know, this guy, he deserves it. He's a hard worker, you know what I'm saying? A solid person. So I just want to give you your flowers and, like, Dev and you guys like that for showing him love, you know what I mean?
Got a good circle around us out here.
It's one of the most loyal people I've ever met in my life. So, I mean, the reason you keep seeing him on every show is because we work well together.
Right.
You know, he's loyal, super good friend. I mean, I talk to this guy every day, so.
Well, I mean, just besides even like being all that, which he is, you know what I mean? Like just him sliding. Like when we first met, I was like doing my own music recording and whatnot, you know what I mean? And he was like, you know, I'll come through and do a session, you know, I'll pay you, blah, blah, blah. So I like engineered one of his first sessions, really, you know what I mean? And from that moment on, he was just there working, you know what I mean? He'd bring people with him and, you know, shout out to them and whatnot. But, you know, like when I really got to the bottom of it, like he was financing everything, you know what I mean? And I'm just charging them. They're coming over. We're all having a good time and on his dollar, you know what I mean? So he's always been super consistent, you know what I mean? It was like no matter what he was going to do, he was going to do it good. You know
so how old were you guys when you met?
18.
Yeah. And how old are you now?
I'm 33 now.
So that's a long time, man.
Yeah.
What, 16 years?
Yeah.
Close. That's crazy to even think about that, man. Because
it
seems like yesterday we just had Crane and them in the basement, Louie and them.
And I really like it's crazy because like Frank Gallagher on Shameless, this guy's got a lot of layers, like a fucking onion. The more I talk to him, there's more stuff that I find out.
Mm-hmm.
He tells me these different things, whether it be the wrestling stuff. He go, man, how deep we got to go into that? Like that came full circle, and here we are in the position we are with these wrestlers. And I'm still hearing about stuff. Oh, I did this and such. His Polo's first video, shit like that. Like, you know, that's nuts, man.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like, you know, we've always been creative. I mean, I'm like, he's been creative on his own, clearly. You know what I mean? I've always been creative. My dad used to draw and airbrush, had airbrush shops down in Detroit, and always drew, canvas, paint, all that nonsense. He was actually like accepted go to college for, you know, art around the same time I was being born, so it didn't go, you know what I mean?
For sure.
So like even me growing up, I would always draw. Like when my pops was doing music, that's what led me to it, because he had a studio upstairs, and I'd go to his house and he'd be recording, you know what I mean? And I'd be like, I always loved music, 3 6 Mafia, fucking like the worst of the worst. I should be listening to at 10, 11, but that's what I'm listening to. We're going down to Kentucky. We're playing. It's just me and him. We're playing 3 6 Mafia. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Cracker. Just all these things. You know what I'm saying? Just crazy little music. Who is I'm blanking on him? Scarface. Like
love Scarface.
Yeah. So he had a CD. I think it was like Ready to Die or Be Born, something along them lines. But the intro is crazy. It's like him being born, you know. And I remember like vividly, like that was one of the first like hip hop songs I really remember. Besides Gangsta's Paradise, you know what I mean. I bought that was my first cassette I ever bought. You know what I mean. Like I was like, oh, I gotta have it. But
a lot of us.
That's a cassette. Like I went to, I remember listening to it at the park. Like, ooh, you know, the movie was hard that it came with and everything. But like that Scarface song, I remember that raw rap. Like that's what I came around. Like even my day, like they, you know, back in the day, they were on ecstasy and all that shit. He was doing like Ghetto Tech, you know, with DJ Godfather, DJ Dick, like all these guys. Fell 3000. They're all down there working graffiti, working on ICP covers, like you name it. You know what I mean? So like I've been around that shit, but like hearing him upstairs doing it, like I would like always want to do it. One day I grabbed the mic, and then you know, I did my first song. He went to prison the same year, you know, so it was kind of like done, you know. And I like found a passion for something, and then he left, you know, didn't have that studio no more and all that. So really, I was still creative, still making music, and then I met this guy, and then like we just been going crazy since. I mean, like the run we had. Like before his spooky run, like just Trey Mob was insane. Like we were at St. Andrews.
That's what I'm talking about, man. You telling me about all these shows, these sold out shows that you guys have played.
I mean, we've done
history.
We've done Blondies, which is not even
a gathering.
Yeah, the Gathering, the Juggalos. You know,
we were just talking about that. That's nuts.
Gathering. Yeah, I mean, we're think about like our position. We're fucking 20 something. You know what I mean? Early 20s.
Early 20s.
Like really got Live Nation calling us saying, "Hey, you want to hop on this show? You want to hop on this show?" You know what I mean? Like
had the number too. It wasn't even just an email,
and they would call us, and we wouldn't call them. You know what I mean? Like at first, clearly we had to call and do whatever. You know what I mean? Sell tickets, blah blah blah. But it got to the point it was like, hey, we got Hobson coming in town. Do you want tickets? We got Tech Nine, we got Ritz, Machine Gun Kelly, whatever. Like they would call us for tickets, and you know, like who are we? We're doing this by ourselves. We have no backing, bro. There's no adult. Like every adult that we're dealing with at times, like this is stupid, blah blah blah. But we're got Live Nation calling. You know what I mean? So. We had a crazy run, Emerald Theater, you know, in Mount Clemens or something like that. Just fucking everywhere. We did everything, and it was all us, all independent, all our money, all us pressing hats, like owning embroidery places, like thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like fuck, like we're just trying to get on. You know what I mean?
Merch, stickers, everything we had.
So like I knew like
that press run.
So this guy right here. So even when like you know we kind of like went our separate ways. Like he went into the film and whatnot. Clearly like he needs to make something that's like financial. You know what I mean? Like rapping ain't gonna pay the bills. Like I said in the last podcast. You know I'm not saying it can't. You know off merch, touring, blah blah blah. I'm just not looking to be like big name Eminem. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to. That's not my goal. Like I said, I would like to fall back in production. Like he fell back in videography. You know what I mean? But he did enough networking as an artist to do that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm striving for on the production tip, but still have fun because like I am having fun with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the video's fire. We didn't even get into that. I mean, oh man,
appreciate it.
Me and this guy, we got fucking 10 videos right now, maybe realistically, like already shot for over a year, just like putting pieces together, getting sessions mixed. You know, I haven't had the best like time with engineers, like mixing my music and whatnot. And it's nothing against them. It's just I don't know. Maybe I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm a solo artist, new artist. You know what I mean? I've been doing this since 2019 as myself. Like I'm still learning. You know what I mean?
So what about the videos that you've been putting out? Tell me about that.
Well, I've been putting out videos myself as a solo artist since my first project, Out the Mud. So these weren't with Spooky. Some of them were, some of them weren't. It was just like I was just reaching out with other videographers as he was on his come up, and I started dropping, but I got like 35 videos on my YouTube. That's really the only place I've dropped besides Out the Mud on Spotify and Apple Music and all that nonsense. So I've dropped one CD of 10 songs. Basically all 10 songs are a video on my YouTube. And then I just been dropping singles, a single here, a single there. A lot of that's going to be on my Bumba's Boy record that I'm dropping, which is a big project I've been working on. And then now I'm just dropping. I'm at the point where I'm just going to try to stay consistent. I'm just dropping singles. Like I just dropped this Yee record, you know. We did a podcast with All Yeah Records. My boy Chris.
Shout out to All Yeah Records.
Yep, shout out to them.
You know, we fuck with them, baby.
My boy Chris on there, you know, he was tapping in about the production afterwards, and I was like, yeah, send something. You know what I mean? And he sent that, and I did it immediately, and I was like, Spooky, we got to do this in 24 hours. You know what I mean? So we shot the video, recorded the song, finished writing everything in 24 hours, shot the vlog, put it out the next day. You know what I mean? And so it's like just trying to do stuff like that too as well.
Talk about that project. You said Bumba's Boy.
So
about that.
So Bumba's Boy is my I'd say an album, you know, but like it's not like I'm like a mainstream artist doing an album. So like, what is an album? Like, what is it? It's not a mixtape. It's not. It's like all original production. So that's why I would say album. In 2020, I had 8 songs. That was Bumba's Boy. So basically, I was recorded. It was done, and my engineer lost all my sessions. You know what I'm saying? Like he lost everybody's sessions at the same time. So like I get it. You know, it's not like his fault. I'm not blaming him, but I was kind of like at a, you know, I was fucked. Then it was COVID happened. Then I had my first child all in 2020. So I lost my sessions, had my first child, COVID happened. It was like music, what is music really? You know what I mean? Shout out 8 Mile too.
Yeah, so while we're getting into that, because we forgot to put the bottles on the table for you. 8 Mile's a sponsor of you, I'm told. He sponsors you?
Yeah, for me as an artist and my podcast that I have coming out, Mikey and Spooky, you know, put me together as far as sponsoring this. So like when I'm at shows, I'll have it. On the podcast, you'll see it. And you know, things of that nature.
Yo, 8 Mile's everywhere, man. They've done a lot for us personally for BrainJerk. So shout out to 8 Mile, shout out to Mikey Shu, the whole fam over there. Appreciate everything you guys do, man.
Most definitely.
Definitely got some cool stuff coming up for you guys to see here real soon. So
right.
And I'm excited about that. That's just one more thing tying it in, you know, like we've always had little sponsors, like not to say this is a little sponsor, but we've always had sponsors and close to like we were almost close to having Smart Water as a sponsor at one point in time. You know, we've had Pure Hemp, which is like a rolling paper from Canada. They send us boxes and stuff. So like that got to say a lot in itself. You know what I mean? That people are willing to bet their brand with you. You know what I mean? And shout out to Mikey for really like believing in it without actually seeing a ton of product. You know what I mean? Just believing Spooky's word. But like I said, like this guy knows best. He's with me. You know what I mean? He's seeing it. He's behind everything. That's another thing. Like, yeah, he's my brother and stuff, you know, but like, I'd rather him do the video. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm doing anything, why would it not be with him? You know what I mean?
Well, it's beautiful that you're here because 8 Mile is an official sponsor. Pillar Talk, and while we're on it, let's thank our sponsors. We've got Lane's Pizza. I know Spooky knows about all these people that I'm about to bring up. All these are really good people. I can't say it enough that each person and the people behind those people that are represented by these pillars that we do for Pillar Talk. So these are our pillars. This is what we do. The Little Brown Jug. Shout out to Jeff Ott. You got Amaya's, Tino Amaya. Shout out to Tino. IWR, Rhino, and Gary. Those guys are awesome. What a great thing to have in our backyard with the wrestling, talking about all the stuff that you guys did back in the day with the wrestling. It's so cool, right?
Next week, too, the 23rd, they're going to be back in town.
Muggsy's in the Monroe Sports Center. Shane Held. Shout out to Shane. We love Shane. Lane's Pizza. We got Brandon. Deb's, Floral Designs and Event Specialist. If you need anything flower related, make sure you guys go check out Deb's. I wouldn't go anywhere else. Straight shooter, always going to tell you right. And RPW, Ruthless Pro Wrestling. That's been some fun if everybody's ever been. I know Spooky's been.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good time.
It's always a good time. Never disappointing. Good events.
But let's see. What events are coming up and the people that should know about?
What is it, March 25th? Okay, so March 25th, I'm performing with the Bankshus and White Low for their EP release, the Sheesh Bros. That's going to be at, what is it, Lanes?
But Lanes will be there.
Yeah, so Lanes.
I told both you fools missing tables because of this. So I hope that event goes well. Same night as our comedy show, or else we'd be there for you to support. I love that we got these companies intertwined because they believe in what, like you said, I'm not going to take none from Spooky.
Yeah.
They know if that man says it, it's generally going to be true, right?
And that's why I rock with him anyways, you know what I mean? Just for that simple fact. I mean, I like to think of myself for him and just, you know, in life in general, like when, you know, like I tell people, if you're looking for the, you know, that answer that's going to cushion you and blah, 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 don't call me. You know what I mean? Like, if you're looking for real truth, call me. You know what I mean? So, like, I like to do that with him all the time. Like, if he hits me with some shit, I'm going to tell him the real, you know, just because he's my guy on top of everything. So, like, you know, I felt like he's been the same with me. You know what I mean? Like, not a yes man. You know, like,
100%.
You know, like, no.
I used to be in my feelings about it back in the day. I'd be getting mad. But then, as I got older and wiser, I realized what he's saying is making sense. Not that it didn't make sense back in the day, but it's just like,
we grow and evolve. Yeah.
I mean,
you didn't know, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, shout out to Trey for always just really keeping it a buck, you know?
Listen, man, just because like not knowing you, but hearing how highly he speaks of you is why we're sitting here.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and not obviously just filler talk, but I just mean,
in general,
you're my friend.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, bro. I mean, you've been solid. You put me, you know, you've done more for me already than a lot of people, you know what I mean? Like between the show and these little podcasts and shit, you know what I mean? So
it's all love, man.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, and I appreciate it too. Like I told him, because he's been telling me to come out here for a while, you know, And I was like, I'm not ready. You know what I mean? I'm really not, because I wasn't at the time. You know, like I actually just recently found like this towards the end of last year, like motivation to really be like, you know what? Like I said, it's new year, new calendar year to apply pressure every month. You know what I mean? So as long as I'm doing something, like I'm gonna take it to the next level. You know what I mean? I believe in myself. I believe in him. You know, and like this guy's the godfather of my daughter. You know what I mean? So it's deeper than even like any of the music and shit. You know what I mean? So it's like at the end of the day, whatever. Like I just want to say, if we didn't work, I want to see him win. You know what I mean? Like, and he knows this. Like I've been behind his projects with the music. Like I actually would sit back and film the videos. Like you know what I mean? I filmed like all his first shit. You know what I mean?
And engineer too. So
yeah, he was an engineer for the most part, but. That was like the earlier projects, but like his like Note to Self is a CD he dropped. Like I don't know if everybody ever heard it, but like you should go check it out. 10 million TIN MANN is Note to Self. It's like album worthy, like videos, artwork, like real.
Yeah, we've checked it out. It's
like so like I was behind the scenes on all that. We went down to Kentucky and filmed. Like so, the work I put in with him clearly is paid off too. You know what I mean? Like you know he's willing to do that with me, and plus like I'm not, you know I don't look at myself as a celebrity or nothing. So like, yeah, let's go down there in front of that window and shoot. You know what I mean? He's gonna sauce it. You know what I mean? So it's like we really don't gotta be like, we're gonna do this. I'm not a diva about it. He's not a diva about it. We work together for these years. We make it happen. You know what I mean? So that's kind of just like where we're at as far as all that goes. Like just creative. Like I trust his word. You know, like he's gonna lead me the right way. And like clearly, like we're here. You know what I mean? We're doing podcasts. We're doing shows. You know, we're doing networking. We got.
Where do we find all this stuff that you're doing?
It's all right now on YouTube at I used to have it all together. Right now on YouTube, you just search Mack Tr3 and it'll pop up. Like I hate it. It used to be all like synced and whatnot. But
any special spelling or anything?
It's just MACK space TR3.
TR3.
Yeah.
So I even had it wrong when I first did it.
So it's just Mack Tr3. And then you go there, you'll see my thing. It's like the only page with all the subscribers and videos. Got like 30 videos. But I'm also on Apple Music, Spotify, and things of that nature with Out the Mud as a solo artist. So like that's the only thing I have out right now, but I'm getting ready to drop an EP. So that's kind of one of the things I'm going to drop here is I'm working on the EP. It's produced by Christian Bands. I'll be dropping at the end of the month, you know. So on top of singles, dropping Bumba's Boy here this summer, just nonstop pressure. That's my goal, you know what I mean? And like I said, me and Spooky, we got 10 videos lined up. So it's just literally just knocking them out, getting them out, knocking them out, getting them out at this point.
They're already recorded and everything. So they've been just
mixing it, maybe need another scene, you know, maybe overlook, you know, things of that nature. So really we've been stocking up as we've been talking about it. The whole time he's been telling me to come out here, I've been gathering shit. I've been trying to get it together, you know what I mean? And now I'm at a point where I can release content. Like I have the network. I'm out here. And even when I wasn't even out here making music, I was still networking, you know, as far as like with other artists and things of that nature. So
what are some of the like notable artists that you've worked with?
I'm gonna take Bumba's Boy. I got Oh No Bad News, Illionaire, 049 Gus, TOS J Bear, Detroit G. I was about to say shout out to Detroit G. I don't got
shout out cheat. Yeah, no.
I don't know. I got a bunch of like people who are really like doing shit in the city and downriver area and shit like that.
You got Rico on there?
Yeah, I got Rico on there, Bankshis on there. Whoa. These are all people that are just basically like, you know, doing stuff right now. Like, you know, I would consider like on my network scene. You know what I mean? Something like that. I just look at shit like tiers. Like, if this is the tier we're on, these are all the people that I'm working with. You know what I mean?
Tell us like what makes you special and why they should listen to your music.
What makes me special? You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm like not like a way like, oh, I don't feel like I'm special. You know, like, but my shit's different. You know what I mean? It's real music. Like you can, it's real content. You know, it's got the like. It's like Detroit, trappy, southern vibes. You know what I mean? It's like really just rapping. It's not really like hooks. It's not all this stuff that's everybody's consuming today. I'm really like a fan of like old school like rap. You know what I mean? Like Lil Wayne, the mixtape runs with Lil Wayne. Like me and my buddy JD, like we'll literally listen to a bunch of Wayne and then freestyle, like make 2 records that are like worthy. You know what I mean? Just off that vibe. You know, so I'm really just like, I would say just, you know, I'm myself literally. No persona. Like, you know, I was literally debating and coming here in the work booths when I didn't want to get mud in the office. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, that's really me, you know. Yeah. It's like, you get what it is. Like he came to for that Yee video, he came to my work and we shot a couple places at my work. Like, you know, that's really my work gear I'm in. You know what I mean? So it's like no cut on it at all. You know what I mean? This is
no
me.
Dress up.
yeah, this is Mack Tr3, this is who I am. Like, you're gonna get me like this. This is my vibe, you know. So I don't know. My thing is like down south, like Tennessee, Kentucky, Atlanta. I could even say Florida. Like, I have a nice following. It's just connecting those dots. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a family man, you know. So it's like, how do I just like separate and go do that if it's not paying like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like that's where I'm at. It's just like really trying to connect those dots. And I really dropped this year too, as far as like, you know, everybody wants to be known in the city. Everybody wants to be known in Detroit and blah blah blah. Like, they can have the whole state in my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, I love Michigan. I was born here. I was born in Southwest Detroit. You know what I mean? But like, I want the world. We've had fans in like Hong Kong, UK, like some cat in the UK tattooed trademark records on his chest. You know what I mean? Like, that's a crazy impact to have from here, sitting here in Michigan. You know what I mean? So
shout out JJ.
Yeah, shout out JJ and Easy Beats. So I really feel like that was done with nothing, with no planning, just us acting.
Had to do something right because you were impacting. Well, we were impacting these people. Like I was just telling, I think it was Deb or maybe even Mikey a couple of days ago about the Kurt Chiller.
Yeah.
We had a podcast that was ran from like New York, but we were running it out of his basement. Like,
yeah,
he would
Syracuse,
call
New York.
Yeah, I don't know how it worked. He called or something, but we filmed like the guests on the phone through his computer.
We would plug like
so it was crazy how that shit was working.
We would plug like, you're good. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Crazy.
We would plug an audio thing into the mic and then into the phone and record the phone calls. And what we were doing was it was called the Kurt Chiller Show, and then it was like the Indie Freak Show. That's what
Indie Freak Show, yeah.
So basically, we were running it from here, messing with all these New York artists, all these Florida artists, California artists, and we met a lot of connections. UK, Hong Kong, all through
Sri Lanka, all that.
Yeah, Sri Lanka.
Okay, I remember this conversation. I used to Hong Kong.
Yeah, Easy Beats out there is still repping us, and I mean he's doing his thing out there.
You know, he's throwing the 3, wearing Trey Mob out there in fucking Hong Kong. Like, I mean,
Trey Mob
had 10 man
come back or what's up?
You know,
Trey Mob got some stuff in the works. I don't want to put too much out there. You know what I mean? Because I like to like literally let it come to life before I really get to speaking about it. But
right now he's the main focus for Trey Mob.
But at the same time, like don't be surprised if you get new stuff with Spooky, JD, and Louis. You know, that's like the core of Trey Mob. So don't be surprised if you get that, because for sure on Bumba's Boy I have one of those like brand new song from 2022.
Can we get some Tin Man? Can I? You know,
he's on there. He's on there. So you know,
I've been writing in the dark.
Yes, literally. But no, he's got we did
call him Kayla.
Yeah, right.
That's it.
Me and are you sleeping?
Bring the wife in. It always gets hairy.
Oh yeah, it's like people start sweating bullets and shit.
Whole conversation change.
I'm about to take one of these.
Hold
on. No, but you know, Spooky. We dropped a project too. It was like just me and him called On the Low, and we did the artwork on it. Like, we had people work on the artwork with us, like people from Arizona, Las Vegas, Feld 300, who did all the artwork in the Ford Field, Feld 3000. He did all the artwork in Ford Field, like the big lines, the Lions mural and all that. He did that, and he's on our artwork as well, you know.
All hand painted.
Yeah, all by hand. So he did our artwork with us, and we and him dropped the whole tape. And you know, that could be something that's worked on again. You know, like the third one, because like I would like to end it on that, like not end it on 2. Especially cool. Everything's 3. You know what I mean? Cool. So
have a little trilogy of it.
Basically, I'm just like realistically, like I'm more focused than ever. I'm way more organized, but I'm still kind of all over the place because I'm getting.
So what you like? You got like a style of rap, or what would you call it? As far as like,
I don't even know, man. Just rap. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like
you say yee, so that really made me think like, you know.
That's why I say it's the country shit. You know what I mean? And like literally, like I get a lot of down south references and shit, but I don't know. Like I don't have like a country accent. You know, clearly I'm born here. You know what I mean? It's in my blood. Like I go down there and live. Big old to the fucking holler, you know what I mean? Sipping fucking whiskey, driving down a fucking mountain steep as fuck, you know what I mean? So literally, they got 100 acres down there. My family does basically that. You know, we go down there and just do whatever fucking
tear shit up.
I mean, shoot, drive forward. Like I didn't even know we went down there last time to shoot a video. That's actually Letcher County Way. It's on my YouTube. That's the county, Letcher County. So, anyways, we're shooting this video. We get the 4-wheelers out. We're tearing up this pot of land. You know, doing donut. Fucking, it's muddy. It's horrible. This was the parking for like the church. You know, that was over there in the holler. Like when they go to the little Sunday memorial and all that. Like We fucked that parking up so bad.
wasn't
It's my
a good
family's land, but like they were salty, but they're like, yes, they're here from Michigan. You know what I mean? Because we come tear shit up. So,
Right.
They know no better.
but as far as the music, I don't know, man. I really like. I guess that's my problem too. Really, you know, it just is what it is, type shit. You know what I mean? I really can't say, hey, it's this. It's not EDM. It's not auto tune.
I say he's just like an MC. Like
I would
you
say
know,
the same, basically.
for real.
You know?
It's
just
raw-
more
raw
trappy.
rap.
It's like a more MC, but on some trap shit, you know. And even like all the content I have out now is still like 2019, 2020, 21. You know, like everything that's out. Like a couple of the new songs have been from last year, 2022. But like the new music I'm making is steps above that. You know, all the shit I have on Bumba's Boy is steps above the shit on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm excited to get that out myself. That's why I said I'm all over the place because it's like. Yeah, I got an EP dropping this month, but I have to, because I really want to work on Bumba's Boy and not rush it. You know what I mean? Because I've worked so long on it. So.
What up? Like, you have anybody that obviously did Scarface and stuff? You got anybody that really influenced you into doing what you're doing now?
But yeah, my pops really. I mean, like I said, he had the studio upstairs. He used to have these guys over. One guy, he was a tattoo artist. His name was Quick. He was like this close to getting signed to Def Jam back in the day, and. My dad had like Triton keyboards, Akai MPCs, like this is $10,000, $15,000 equipment at the time, like 24 track recorders and shit. So him and his buddies would be doing shit, and I'd hear all this local independent music. It don't sound like 36 Mafia. I mean, it kind of got the feel because they're kind of like clearly trying to go that route or whatever, but it was this crazy ass music. So to hear these guys, I would always be like, man, this is crazy. Like I had a couple favorite songs. Like
so it was seeing it up close. It wasn't really the radio.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Like
It was different.
you.
It was seeing the creative process. Like the one song, "Greedy Goblins" from Quick, the guy almost got signed to Def Jam. He was like drunk, like there was fucked up off ecstasy. They're up there like he's tattooed up. They got the bandana. They're up there with the beats, like it's candles lit, it's eerie. You know what I mean? Like I'm 11 years old. Like what the fuck's going on? Really trying to figure life out. You know what I mean?
Living with the ministry.
And then one night my dad fucking had some girl over or whatever the case, and that guy Quick was upstairs making a beat, and I grabbed the mic, like starts rapping and shit, and the girl was like, "Who's up there rapping?" To my dad, I guess, and he's like, "I don't know." He goes up there, sees it's me. I rewrite a song, I record, boom, But them guys like hearing Quick, hearing. There was another song, "Aim My Pistols." It was like, "Aim my pistols to the sky for all my soldiers that had died." Like this shit was like a bop, you know what I mean? I was like, when I made my first song, I was like, I want that on my CD too, So I went home with my song and this song, and I was just like I was snapping too. Like I rewrote my dad's verse and wrote it and recorded it, but still like at that time, 11 years old, never recorded before. I'm like, that's my truck, that's my gun, that's my money, that's my phone. I'm the one that's got to have it. Like I was like, he's like, what the fuck, you know what I mean? But he went to prison that year, so I was like, shit was done. You know what I mean?
Squash that. So he didn't come back out.
He was in prison for 16 years. So they started Trey Mob Records as like a little street, whatever, fucking DJs and shit like that. Just like basically it would be like how BrainJerk has got a bunch of people in here, working. That's what Trey Mob was for them, you know what I mean? But they probably had it more like gang on some stupid shit, realistically. But moral of the story, he goes to prison. I'm fucking here. I'm Mack Tr3. I'm me. I mean, my first song, I love music, so I was always pushing the agenda like Trey Mob, and that's why I said, like, it's crazy. We took it to the point where Live Nation's calling us. We're at Blondie's. We're at Emerald Theater. We're at St. Andrews. We're at the Shelter.
You kept know the name alive. Kept the brand alive.
Yeah, so for 16 years while he's in prison, like, I kept Trey Mob alive, And if I did do anything more Trey Mob besides, like, myself just being, like, considering that my brand and all that, you know what I mean? Like, there's no more Trey Mob as far as, like, that, except for when I do it with these guys in my eyes, you know what I mean? Like, there's still, like, a group of people my dad associates with. That's still Trey Mob. But, like, as far as, like, a Trey Mob group, it's me, Spooky, JD, and Louie, Like, so once that's done, once that tape's done, if that happens or something like that happens, Trey Mob, in my eyes, is whatever, I'm just Mack Tr3 at that point, you know what I mean? So that's my goal, and to move on to production, like I said. So that's, in the future, I'd like to be producing and have records from these guys produced by me, you know what I mean? And that's, like, really the main goal.
It's crazy some of the venues that you talked about, man. What's the coolest venue you performed at?
We did Harpo's. Harpo's was pretty cool.
Yeah, Harpo's is awesome.
I like Harpo's because it's like, you know what I mean?
Stage
no
is
rules, There's no
you're
rules
up here,
Harpo's.
Everyone's down
there.
there.
Somebody threw a hat at me at Harpo's, like whipped it at me. And I was like, Should I give it back? Everybody's like, no. I whip that bitch in the crowd. He runs up to the stage. Fucking, they mosh his ass, bro. Like, we don't know these people. They're moshing this dude because he's disrespecting us. Like, we had it like that. Like, we were opening up right before the headliners on all them shows between Hobson, Ritz, No the Product, Lil White. Like, right before all these guys go on, it was Tremont.
Too short.
Too short. You know, down fucking that was like a weird ass thing. That was like a suite downtown. Like, you know, they made a stage in the fucking big ass suite. You know, that was crazy. Like, there was bottle service and shit. Like, you know, that boy was like, I want that motherfucker.
I need that over here.
Yeah, I need that shit.
That was with them rock
so
bottles.
like, I got to see a lot of like artists up close. My stepdad owned a limo business and shit. So I seen like ICP like before like I was even rapping. Like, we got big ass boxes of jerseys and CDs and vinyls and stickers and shit, like from their tours and shit. We would get that and be like, what the fuck's ICP? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's before I knew, you know what I mean?
One of the cover arts.
Well, he didn't draw the cover art. Their first CD they put out where there's a guy hanging upside down by his feet. You know what I mean? I don't know what the name of the CD is. It was a cassette, actually.
It's an ICP one?
Yeah, it's an ICP tape.
No, this guy's a juggalo right here. He knows.
All right, so we didn't pull it
tattoos?
up. We didn't pull it up. And basically, it's like a clown upside down hanging by his feet by a rope. You know what I mean? And then the background is graffiti on the wall. My dad and fell.
Oh, dog beats.
That's it. Yeah, so Fell 3000 and my dad did that mural that's behind there.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean? So it's like just deep like that. Like,
that's old too. That's like Inner City Posse. That's before even ICP.
Yeah, so that's when they were first coming up, you know. And then DJ Dick, like, these guys all had like their career was way more than what like my dad's association with them was, but my dad was tied in with these guys. Like, they're the one, DJ Dick and Godfather are like, buy this equipment, do this, you know what I mean? Like, so DJ Dick's mentioned in Eminem's book, you know what I mean? And my dad's had DJ Dick at his house too, you know what I mean? So it's just like been so tied in. Like, my stepdad beat up Bubba Sparks at St. Andrews, you know what I mean? Like, literally. And fucking, like, you know, 3-6 Mafia, I don't know if it was like Crunchy Black or Juicy J, but they were down there being disrespectful. Somebody was trying to snatch their chains, and like my stepdad was there, like, you know, with his people, like, no, don't do that. So it's like I've seen like the craziest sides of the story, you know what I mean? From some
real
of these
life.
rappers. Yeah, I've seen like real life. So like
situations.
I've never been starstruck. You know, like when I see an artist, like, oh, it's such and such, I'm like, fuck, this regular old Joe Schmo, realistically.
Yeah,
you know
you see behind the curtain. It's really
so
like that.
Yeah, so like I've seen football players fucking from Detroit Lions. Like, you know, I used to hang out with one. You know, you take me to Benihana's and see Friday Night Lights. You know, with Joey Harrington and all them in the crowd. You know, like, it's fucking crazy. They be at our house and shit. So like I had a crazy little life. That's why I'm not impressed by a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Like I would love to really network and show love to shit, but it's like some shit, you know, if I don't feel it's authentic and shit, I just don't rock with it. You know what I mean? I don't hate on it, but I just don't, you know, you don't see me with everybody because I don't fuck with everybody. You know what I mean? Not in a bad way where it's like hateful. It's just like I just rock myself. I just mind my own business. You know what I'm saying? I do what I do.
Shift to you.
Oh shit.
Tell me what you got going on. I mean, I know, but tell the people what you got going on.
Pretty much a whole bunch of stuff. Really, I'm focusing on this show next week with the Sheesh Bros.
Yeah, we're going chronological on that ass because if not, man.
Yeah, because if I don't, then my clock backwards. But really, it's the Sheesh Bros. You guys come out, support these local artists. You know, they're young and upcoming, just like we were, you know, at one point in time. You know, it's still upcoming, but, you know, Rico Baby, White Loaf, Anxious, I think produced by Flacco is even on there. A couple of cats, you know. So it's $20 at the door. What is it?
Ace King.
Yeah, Ace King. He's hard too. Man, yeah. See,
I
now I feel bad.
I feel bad leaving everybody out. Like I want to shout them all
Ronnie
out.
Nux,
Ronnie
Nux,
yeah.
The Dons even, you know, and Lil Siren. I caught that guy at the with the Lunar Station and 2 Down. And I was like, damn, like this guy, you know, he put himself together a little better. He might have it, you know. His performance was good. The songs were dope, well put together. And I kind of like me as a video or production person too. I see that in an artist. I'm like, not necessarily, I'm going to manage this guy, but maybe if I can help mold you a little bit or, you know, steer him the right way, put some logic in his ear, maybe he'll take that and run with it, you know?
Right.
But yeah, so that's what I kind of am hoping to offer even for the younger generation in the future too, with staying on the rap game and stuff, like kind of give them the game that we weren't given. We kind of had to find it out for ourselves, you know, like he said, we literally had no manager. At one point, Chuck D was trying to do shit with us, but that was like the closest to a manager we ever had, and it really wasn't a manager like that. No disrespect to him, but he wanted us to go a different route when we already knew. No, we were going this way. You know, he was trying to get Mack Tr3 to dance.
No, I knew you knew I was gonna say. He knew it was coming too. Oh, it was cooking up. I was thinking that went out like, please let me drop it first.
So, no.
I saw it. That was good.
I was looking at the corner of my eye like, no, for real though.
No, but yeah, he was. Hey, shout out to Chuck D. Much love. You know what I mean? He's
Chuck D. Yeah,
when that boy was trying to be on that dance and shit, like, you know, the best advice he really did give was like throw events. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Which, you know, Spooky really is living that now. You know, by throwing events, skating with Spooky. You know, game nights, whatever the case. You know what I mean? The masquerade balls, all that nonsense. Like, that's basically what he was trying to get us to do back in the day.
Strip club scene, but we didn't have that music. You know, it
was tough. You know,
more MC type shit. But we were performing in all the strip clubs before the strip club scene was popping. You know, even down in Glass City,
and that boy used to,
all that.
And that boy used to dance in Canada and shit. You know what I'm saying? He'd be bucky naked. So he's looking at like, you guys got to perform. We're like, bro, like I'm not dressing up like Egyptian king.
Right?
You know what I mean? For real, like no.
Trying to call us some togas and shit. Like, no, we're good. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna keep this flannel.
Shout out to my man. Shout out to Chuck D.
I'm gonna keep my flannel.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Shout out to Chuck D. Though. He did do us solid. Like, you know, we were at Trump's, we were at Glass City,
Landon Strip.
Just you name it, we were doing those shows down there. It's like he said, we just really didn't have the music for the club scene. You know, we were just like on some lyrical shit at the time. You know what I mean? So. It's like, what do you do with that? You know, if Chuck D would have been better in the scene for like, you know, underground artists or understood where we were coming from, like we need to be on them gatherings. Like we got on the gathering ourselves by contacting, like being, you know, persistent and really being like, hey, bro, look at us. We're this blah, 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 blah. And they gave us a chance, you know. So imagine if somebody else was doing that for us at the time. We'd be fucking every fucking juggalo, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
You gotta think too, like the time that we were coming up as Trey Mob, the underground scene was, I'm not gonna say got its kickstart, but that's really what it was with like Volume. Snow the Product, Funk Volume, Tech Nine, everybody. You know, Strange Music was really popping. Ritz, Yellow Wolf.
You go the Magic Ninja.
Exactly. So all that stuff was really like popping, that was our inner circle. Like that was our underground buzz. You know, so we were trying to adapt to those type of those crowds, and you know what I mean. So it was kind of hard, but it wasn't at the same time. Like we were really there. It was just like, you know, we're right there, you know.
And really, like, you know, we probably found it out too late that we should have been going hard on that route before everybody split their separate ways, you know. The main thing with Spooky, like, his voice is unique. So when he started rapping back in the day, like, everybody was like, what the fuck? You know, they didn't know what to think of it. Right. You know what I mean? But, like, I was thinking, too, like, yeah, like, he's good and it's, like, different. You know what I mean? Like, I got the ear for shit like that. Like, I understand, like, music. So, like, if we could have really got that note to self and really got that Tin Man out there, you know, what if he was even Spooky? Would that have changed it? You know what I mean? If he wasn't Tin Man, you know, people wouldn't have took him more serious, but they don't know why he's Tin Man. You know what I mean? No one asks. They're just like, who the fuck's Tin Man? You know what I mean? Instead of being like, why are you Tin Man? You know, if they knew his story and then heard this shit and then peeped the message, it might be different, you know, receptive different. You know what I mean?
That's why I like the podcast. That's the only thing I can say I really dig about doing this is it really, if you watch and you delve into like somebody you just didn't know.
Yeah.
You didn't know.
I've learned a lot myself sitting in this seat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And just the episodes that we've done already, like, and you know,
that goes for a lot of shit though, man. Honestly, like I was just goes for any type of podcast, really. You know, like I don't even know what Mike Tyson's one is, but I've been watching that lately. Hot boxing, okay, but like he just got random ass people on there. So it's cool to just hear them stories, cool, you know. Just,
I dig it.
Especially if you're interested in something like that. So
talking to different people. Jimmy says, yee, let's go.
Yee.
Squirrel, crazy.
What up, Squirrel? Yeah. We got our second game night is May 27th. If you guys bring a non-perishable or like a canned good donating towards Oaks, you'll be entered for a separate raffle. So,
boom.
So that's all ages. I try to, like, you know, tend to the families and stuff like that with the spooky game night, the bowling. You already know. So
for sure.
Then BrainJerk and Spooky, we really paired up with a lot of stuff together. Incorporating also with the MCSN and with the development group. So
beautiful.
Those are for the people that don't know.
Going crazy. Going crazy. I mean, that's what I appreciate about it too. You know, like it's just like that's what I said earlier. Like, you know, gotta give you guys your flowers for showing them love because it's like you guys are all working, bro. Like that's what I like to see.
I gotta shout out the BTT guys too, because I brought it up to Big Mike and TJ Madison last year, you know, probably before the Haunted House, honestly, about Mack Tr3, and then they actually got to see him firsthand at your birthday party. So be on the lookout for that because he's going to be featured on the BTT podcast sooner or later, you know. So, and we're working with the little listening party and all that stuff also coming soon. So everything's going to have the right rollout when the time's right, you know. So it's not just here it is, like it's going to be done right, you know, especially with the backing with you guys. And we have a team. We really have something behind the scenes. That's something we didn't have back in the day. We didn't have, it's not that we didn't have these venues. We just didn't have the people to put it together. So now with the backing like that, we're able to really make shit shake.
It's beautiful, man. We got a lot going on for sure.
This is good networking, you know. Like even like I got a podcast. I got about 6 or 7 episodes filmed. I just got to get around to editing, you know. But like just I'm doing music right now. Like me and my partner talked, and I was like, I'm heavy in this music right now. Like I can't focus on that. You know what I mean?
That's why we went live. That's why we've been doing a lot of live shows.
It's nice.
It's better.
The only thing I like about what I'm doing is like I have 6, 7 episodes backed up. You know what I mean? So I can be consistent. You know, but the only thing is the material is dated. You know what I mean? That's the only bad thing. But, you know, we're not sponsored. We're not like promoting nothing necessarily. It's just shit talking. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to drop that. But, you know, I look forward to when we dropping that, having you guys on our shit as well. You know what I mean? You know, it's more of like just a fucking literally shit show. Basically, like the other night, you know what I mean? When we did ours over here.
Yeah.
That's
cannabis.
That shout out to the mint, baby. Yeah. That was a shit show. You know, and I love the show, so don't take it the wrong way. I don't mean it that in the bad way.
I didn't mean it in a bad way.
We had a lot of fun, but it was a shit show because it was like not put together the way we would put together normally. Right.
But
I went back and watched it and it was funny.
Yeah.
You know, obviously it's just too many people on one.
Yeah.
And then when we're smoking and stuff, obviously things
we learned that lesson, you know.
But it was funny.
Yeah, we learned that lesson before growing, you know, trying to do the podcast back in the day. We had like 8 people at a round table. That was outrageous. You know what I mean? And then even now, like Spooky's really not, you know, all that involved in, like he's like a co-host here and there. He'll come jump on, but it's me, JD, and my boy White Rain. Like really, like me and JD got wasted a couple episodes, and it's off the rails. You know what I mean? It's a shit show.
Yeah.
Like, but it's good. You know what I mean?
That's good though. That's what you need.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
Content.
Yeah. So I'm excited to drop that. And like I said, when I do drop that, it'd be sponsored by 8 Mile Vodka, and I'd like to have you guys on as well. You know what I'm saying? Once we get it rolling. So
sounds good. Beautiful, man. I think we touched everything we need to, man.
Yeah,
just guys feeling?
Yeah,
can I get your guys' socials and stuff?
It's spooky films everywhere. You know, that's Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all the socials. Just spooky films.
Yep. And mine's Bumba's Boy, BUMBASBOY. That's on Twitter and Instagram. And then YouTube, you just gotta search Mack Tr3. It's just like it's fucking stupid. I hate like
you can change it. Though.
You gotta Spooky gotta help. Spooky gotta put me ahead. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I'm fucking him up.
I'm an idiot. Yeah, it's like because it's right now. It's like Mack Tr3 34507 some bullshit. But
definitely go follow these guys if you don't already. Right. Shout out again to our sponsors. Check all these guys out. All these people in our community doing big things. We
appreciate what you're doing too, man. You know, honestly, even with this stuff and with all the podcasts from, you know, Coach K, Boss Talk, everything that you guys have to offer too, it's really nice.
You guys are starting to notice what we've got going, and it's that BrainJerk network. We're gonna have a network of shows that basically pretty soon like to have 2 a day. We'd like to have 1 in the morning, 1 at night, and then even if there's more than that going on. Shout out to Jeff Hill. I know we got Dan Severin coming to town. Shout out to Spooky.
Yeah,
you guys got an event on Saturday.
Yep.
So go check that out. Come down, meet Dan Severin. If you know who Dan Severin is, Google that shit, damn it.
Yeah.
UFC great Hall of Famer, dude.
So that's going to be at Cravings Cards and Collectibles, and he's also going to be at Amaya's that night watching the UFC fights.
We'll be there for all of that. And then I think we're going to be blessed enough on Saturday to have him on Pillar Talk, it sounds like. He might come and do a special episode. I joked about it being only on Wednesday, and I said, well, Dan Severin's coming to town. We'll pull a live on Saturday.
Yeah, it ain't even got to be that long, you know, just get it in, get it out.
Good shit, man. Well, thank you guys for coming. I love you both.
Thank you.
Pillar Talk, episode 6.